Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shackeria. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're not already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the baby items that I have found to be very useful. If you are new and you don't know, I am a new mom. Recent mom? I don't know. Anyways, I have a 3-month-old and I have, gotten to a place now where some of the items that, I bought or some of the items that were gifted at my baby showers, I've used them for the last 3 months now, and I feel like I've accumulated a bunch of the more useful items, so I wanted to share them with you guys here in this video. So if you are expecting, maybe this video will be somewhat helpful in terms of what you should buy or what you should put on your registry or any of that stuff. This obviously doesn't take away from the fact that each child is different, but these items I have found to be very useful to me, and I just kind of wanted to share them in this video. So if you guys are interested, then obviously keep on watching. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get started. Alright, so apart from the usual stuff that you normally get for your baby, like diapers, wipes, strollers, car seat, and all that stuff, these are just the other types of things that are very useful. And like I just said, these items may not be useful for you, but they have really helped me. And the first thing that I want to share with you guys is my Boppy Pillow. It is so big you can't even really fit in the frame, but this is my Boppy Pillow right here. What can I say about it? It's basically a nursing pillow, but it can also be used for a variety of things. You can prop your baby up on it. Once your baby starts sitting up, you can have them sit in this little ring hole thing, and it just kind of helps them. And this has come in really handy for me. Like, I would set it down on the bed, and if I'm doing something in the room, I would just kind of place my baby in there, and I know she's safe, and I know she's not gonna roll over or roll off or anywhere. And sometimes I even put this on the mat in the living room on the floor, and I put her there as well. So this has come in really handy for me. If you are an exclusive breastfeeding mom, you will love that pillow. In the beginning, when I was breastfeeding, I would just latch it around my stomach area and just place the baby in there, and it's so helpful. And I think that's one of the first things that like any mom would tell you to get, is that pillow. Obviously you can go ahead and use a regular pillow, you don't have to use the Boppy, but one thing that's good about the Boppy is that it has this cutout area here that you can just stick under your stomach, and it sits there, whereas a pillow doesn't really get in there. And the way you'll be nursing, this pillow is really helpful because you can rest your arm on it. So this pillow is really good for nursing moms, and it's also just really good for your baby overall. It's just a place for them to sit. It's comfortable, it's soft, and you can also change the cover. And you can find them on Amazon, and they're pretty inexpensive as well. The Boppy itself, I think, was kind of like, I got it as a baby shower gift, but I think it's like $30. So that's one of the first things that I highly suggest. The next thing that I want to talk about is I want to talk about a baby carrier. So I didn't know I needed this until I actually got it. I actually put it on my baby registry because I'm like, it's a baby carrier. If somebody gets it for me, that's cool, but if they don't, that's also cool. But my friend actually got this for me, and I thank God that she did, because having a baby carrier is so helpful, especially when you are doing stuff around the house, or if you don't want to lug the stroller around. You just put your baby in here and you just go, your hands free. This is the baby Bjorn carrier, and it's kind of tangled on and like all over the place, but it has these really thick straps, and I love that. And this is actually really comfortable. It was kind of ridiculously expensive, but I know you can find cheaper ones. But it's really easy to put on, and my baby likes it. She never fusses whenever she's in it, and it's just one thing that I didn't know I needed until I had it. And I think if you are, I wouldn't say if you're like a busy mom, but if you know, do stuff around the house, you know, if you go on walks, if you just want like less hassle, I definitely suggest you get a baby carrier. It is so helpful. For example, the other day when I was doing laundry and I was here by myself, I used this and I put my baby in there, strapped her in, went downstairs, did my laundry, and you know, it was totally fine. The only thing is, do give yourself a little bit of time to strap her in. All right, so now we're gonna move on to a few gadgets that I have been loving and that I recommend. The first one is a white noise machine, and honestly, you don't have to get a white noise machine. You can always pull up an app on your phone and you can find white noise apps or whatever, but I really wanted a machine separately from doing it on my phone, simply because I didn't want to leave my phone in the room with the baby. So I wanted to get a separate white noise machine, and this one was actually really expensive. This one was actually really inexpensive, and it's pretty simple. There's nothing to it. You have your different, you know, sounds over here, and then you have your volume button, and you can also set it to a timer of 15, 30, and 60 minutes. It's so easy, and it's so simple, and it's so small. Like, it doesn't take up that much room. And you know, I suggest some kind of noise machine because I've heard that babies actually really like white noise. So I figured, why not try this out? If she doesn't like it, cool. If she likes it, then also cool. Like, it doesn't really matter. My baby's not fussy. If I put it on, you know, she won't cry to turn it off, or if I don't put it on, she's not really too fussy. I think it's more for me, like if, you know, we're gonna be really loud in the living room, I tend to turn this on so it kind of drowns out whatever it is we're doing in the living room, and it just, you know, kind of like lulls her to sleep a little bit. So that's kind of why I use a white noise machine. But like I said, you can always just pull up an app on your phone and that works perfectly fine. Having some kind of a white noise machine. Also, what you can also do is, if you have an AC unit, turn on the AC that produces white noise, or some kind of like fan system, you know, that works as well. You know, any type of white noise machine. And you know, if your baby is, you know, kind of fussy, maybe just hearing that, you know, continuous noise in their ear might lull them to sleep. So I mean, you never really know, but my baby, for the most part, she doesn't love it, she doesn't hate it. She's neutral, but I love having the option of turning it on. Another thing that I highly suggest that I wasn't sure that I needed until I actually got it was a baby monitor. I had this on our baby registry, and I'm like, you know what, if someone gets this for us, cool. The baby's gonna be sleeping in our room anyway, so it's not like we're gonna need, you know, to have a camera on her like that. She won't be in her own space. But someone actually got this for us, and I am so grateful that they did, because this has come in handy like there is no tomorrow. Having a baby camera is so perfect, simply because like you're not going to be like sitting over your baby the whole entire day, and if you have stuff to do, you know, in the living room or in the kitchen, you know, for example, like if I'm in the kitchen cooking and I have the camera on her in the room, I can see when she stirs, and I can go, you know, attend to her before she really wakes up and starts freaking out. So I love having this camera. And this camera, you can also talk. There's like a talk button, and it has a good, I think, 360 camera, so it can like turn all the way around. This one is just small, and it has like a little antenna, it has a little kickstand. And another thing that I love about it is that the charging cable, because you got to charge this, the charging plug is actually really long, and I love that you can like move it all over the place, and you have a long option of where it goes. So I really love having a camera. So that's another thing that I do suggest, is if your baby's going to be in another room, definitely get a camera. But even if your baby isn't in another room, having the option of being able to see your baby if you're in another room doing something else is really helpful, and I love having this. All right, and we cannot forget hand sanitizer. Like, you have to have hand sanitizer all over your house, because you know, in the first 3 months or so, people are going to be coming over, touching your baby, holding your baby. And it's not only for the people who come over, but it's also for you, because you'll be changing diapers constantly, and sometimes, you know, if you be touching something, you just want a quick little squirt hand sanitizer action. So I have one of these in our room, I have one in the living room, and I have other refills as well. And I also have little baby ones, mini ones, like on my bag, in her diaper bag. And speaking of diaper bag, I'm actually going to film another video after I finish filming this video, and it's going to be what's in my diaper bag. So stay tuned for that video if you are curious. But yeah, hand sanitizer is a must. All right, so another thing that I highly suggest, given, you know, if your baby accepts it or not. So if your baby uses a pacifier or a soother, I suggest getting some kind of clip situation that way you can clip it onto their shirts or their bibs, or, you know, their little sleeves right here. Because honestly, picking up a pacifier 100 times a day from a baby who, you know, spits it out and wants it again is kind of frustrating. It's kind of annoying. So I say get some kind of a string like this, and that way you can know where the pacifier is, and it's always going to be stuck to them, basically. So I got this one from Amazon. It's from Dodo Babies, or Doodoo Babies, I don't know. And it's just this like cute little fabric, and it has this like metal silvery clip thing, and you just kind of pull it open like this, and it has a little latch, and then you just snap it on. And then over here is you just stick it into one of the holes on the pacifier, and then you like loop it through, and then it's stuck on there. So yeah, if your baby takes a pacifier, definitely get one of these. All right, so a few other things that I recommend in terms of babies are books and books and books and books. So two types of books, actually. First, I recommend baby books. Babies love books. In the first month, my baby didn't really care, but as you know, she reached her 3-month mark, she has really been loving books as of lately, and I feel like this one is like her favorite. Brown bear, what do you see? But she really just loves looking at the pictures. She likes talking, interacting, and she loves when you read to her. So I highly suggest baby books, and the ones that, you know, have these like thick boarded look are the best, and anything that has bright colors and big words. It's always good to get started on reading books to your babies. That's how, you know, they work up their communication skills, etc., etc. And, you know, I don't only just, you know, read the book once, I read it like twice. Sometimes I make up my own words, you know, and all that fun stuff, and she loves it. My husband does the same thing too, and you know, it's a cute, precious moment. But yeah, I highly suggest baby books. Another type of book that I suggest is some kind of adult book on babies. So I got this one. This is the Mayo Clinic Guide to Your Baby's First Year, and this is a book that I got when I was pregnant. They gave me an option of a book like this or a book for when I was pregnant, and I really thought that this was the best thing for me, because after you have the baby, that can be a very scary experience. So having something that you can constantly refer back to can be very helpful. One thing I really love about this is they have a section called month by month, and each month they just, you know, tell you where your child should be at in terms of their milestones, in terms of their weight, and what to look for in terms of their motor skills, their skin, their hair, just little things that your baby should be doing each month. So right now I'm on my 3rd month, and you know, I just read to see what I should be looking for throughout the month in terms of her cognitive development and all of that stuff. And I really just like having this information here. That way, you know, throughout the month I can see, oh look, I noticed that she's doing this now. So when she goes to her checkup, I have something to either talk to her pediatrician about, or, you know, ask questions about, and I really love that. And there's also so much information in here. I even I put tabs on it on different things. For example, I put a tab in the sleep section because I know some babies, you know, have difficulty sleeping. I put a tab in the diaper section, you know, because we're constantly changing diapers, so I want to know what to look for in terms of poop, pee, rashes, any of that stuff. So I tabbed somewhat of the like almost important everyday things, and then I tabbed some of the other things down here like common illnesses, and then the health and safety, and I just tabbed a bunch of stuff. And this has come in really handy, especially the first month when we brought her home, and every little thing she did, we're just like, where's the book? What do we look for? Let's see. Why is she crying so much? Having some kind of, you know, first year baby book situation that can help you as a parent can ease so much anxiety. All right, so the last thing I want to share with you quickly is something kind of fun. So I have these little containers right here. They look like this, and this is what I use to organize my baby's onesies and her clothes, and these are so freaking helpful. I love containers and I love organizing, and I love stuff like this because instead of throwing everything into a drawer, they're separated. So right now this is empty because my baby my baby grew out of her newborn clothes, so now we kind of have this empty one where her newborn stuff was, but this is what I was storing her newborn onesies in, and they came in helpful because they're like almost the perfect size. If you can see, it's a little wider, but I had her newborn onesies just kind of folded in here, and then I had like her pants along the side. They were so helpful in terms of dividing up baby's clothes, and even right now in her drawer she has a few of these in here, and they just come in handy to store things in. So, you know, if you're working with a small space, having stuff like this to store your baby's clothes can be very helpful, because all you can just do is put them in there and they can stack on top of one another, and they kind of take up less room like that, and it keeps you organized. So that is the last thing. All right, so that is everything that I want to share with you guys today. These are just the things that I feel you know, have worked for me, and I feel like might work for anyone else. They're just, you know, practical, everyday, or even like useful things. That's one thing. I wanted them to be useful because I do have certain things that I have, but they're not really, you know, useful in that way. And there could be cheaper alternatives, but these things that I mentioned here in this video, these are things that I use on an everyday and on a regular basis, and I'm basically getting my money's worth. That's one thing, because baby things can be really expensive, and you want to be able to get your money's worth. You want your child to at least enjoy it or use it. So these are just the things that have worked for me. So I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do that, and I will see you guys on my next upload. Bye.